Shadow Lugia is coming to Pokemon GO this weekend, and it's going to be extremely fun, but it might be challenging at the same time. So today what we're going to do is cover all of the top counters, the 100% IVs, and all the information you need to know about Lugia in Pokemon GO to take it down fast and efficient in Pokemon GO. So welcome to the Trader Club, here we go! Shadow Lugia is here this weekend, which is going to be the 28th and the 29th of October. As of right now, it is saying that it is going to be starting at 10 a.m. So I would count on 10 a.m., but I would also be prepared that potentially it could be hatching earlier. I'm just hoping it hatches earlier, but obviously we'll see what happens. So this Pokemon will have a Shadow debut in raid battles, but for the first time ever, you will be able to encounter a shiny Shadow Lugia. And one of the bonuses of the event is going to be increased Shadow raids, so there should be a good amount of Shadow raids out there, including the Shadow Lugia, which is very exciting for us. So good luck with that shiny Shadow. Hopefully some of you guys get the Shundo. Make sure to tune into my Twitter at the Trainer Club with 2 B's and post all of your shiny Shadow Lugia wins, or even regular Lugia Shadow wins in Pokemon GO. And for the Shadow raids, you cannot remote raid invite. So you'll be doing this with local players only, so I highly suggest you guys get on Facebook, Discord, Campfire, or other things. All right, so that is going to be where we are at here. So now let's get into the counters, because we have to talk about this Pokemon. In my opinion, and according to Pokébattler, we're gonna differ in our opinions, okay? So Pokébattler, according to the statistics and everything, they're saying it's gonna take approximately 5 trainers to take down this Pokemon with level 40 counters. I am saying that it's gonna take more than that, and it's gonna be a whole lot more challenging, but we'll get to that here in a second. So Lugia is out for 2 days. It's going to be a Psychic and a Flying type Pokemon. It will not have any double weaknesses, and it's a very bulky Pokemon, which means when it transitions into the Shadow form, it's going to be stronger in the attack, a little bit less bulky, but since it already had a lot of bulk to begin with, man, it's gonna make it a challenging takedown. The weaknesses of this Pokemon are gonna be Dark, Electric, Ghost, Ice, as well as Rock, for a total of 5. And the fast moves are going to be Dragon Tail and Extrasensory. I'm not really too concerned about either of those movesets. And then we're going to get Hydro Pump, Sky Attack, and Future Sight. And then if you do want Aeroblast, that is going to be an Elite TM move, because you're going to have to Elite TM it. It is not available in the move pool, okay? So just keep that in mind. That is going to be one of the stronger movesets. If you guys want to see all and everything about these Pokemon coming to Pokemon GO, you can check it out right here, where I cover all of the brand new Shadow Pokemon hitting the game. And there's some very groundbreaking Pokemon, and I briefly cover Lugia as well. And let's cover the 100% IVs, because under normal conditions, every condition but one condition, it is going to be 2,115 at level 20. And that one condition that's going to boost this Pokemon will be Windy Weather, which is going to affect Psychic and Flying type Pokemon as well as Dragon, but that's not a play in here except for the moveset. It's going to be level 25 at 2645. Okay, so those are the 2 100% IVs to look out for, and I'm on a roll with 100% IV Shadow Pokemon, so maybe we're gonna get lucky this weekend. I don't know, but definitely stay tuned to the vlog to see if we have that broken luck again. So I guess we will see. And just as a reminder, the Shadow Shiny is going to be out. Fantastic looking shiny with the Shadow form and the red eyes. It's really going to make that shiny red belly pop out. And once again, if we go over to Pokébattler statistics, it's saying with level 40 counters, you're going to take 4.84 trainers to take down this Pokemon. And then it says later in the post that if you are using gems, it's going to take half of the amount of trainers, because this is not taking into effect the gem calculation. And for me, I'm saying that this is total bull. It is not going to go like this. The reason being is that Shadow Pokemon are very strong. Lugia is already very tanky, semi-strong, already hard to take down in the regular form. With it hitting Pokemon even harder in these movesets, man, it's going to be a absolute nightmare. So please start off, in my recommendation, with people party sizes of 10. Unless you have really low-level trainers with low-level counters, I would suggest going with at least 12 plus, because I believe that this is going to be a very challenging raid boss to take down, and only time will tell here. Which obviously is going to lead us into the counters. So the number 1 counter, which is going to be a Mega Pokemon, which we will talk about Mega Pokemon here after we go over number 1 counter, Bite, Brutal Swing, Mega Tyranitar. The strongest counter coming after this, and originally I saw Tyranitar, oh, it's going to be Stone Edge and Smackdown. But since Tyranitar is multi-typed and Brutal Swing is the stronger typing combination, if you want to see how strong Mega Tyranitar actually is, check out this video. It's extremely impressive on how good Brutal Swing actually made that Pokemon. So, Mega Pokemon, Mega Tyranitar, Tyranitar. Remember, Lugia is a Psychic and a Flying type. So if you do want more XL candy coming from this Pokemon when catching it, we need to talk about the Mega typing to match up with it. So further down on the list, we actually have the Mega Aerodactyl, which is a Rock and a Flying type. So although the strongest typings here are going to be Dark typing in spot number 1, and in spot number 2 we have Shadow Tyranitar with Bite as well as Brutal Swing. And remember, Brutal Swing is not an elite TMable move. It is a regular TM move. You can TM it right now with a normal charge TM and be able to get you that moveset. So it's a beautiful thing that that has been added into the game. But I always go when I raid for these Pokemon, unless I'm going to be extremely disadvantaged with numbers. If I'm extremely disadvantaged with numbers, I'm gonna pull out my level 50 Double Dark Tyranitar and use that and optimize that to the best. However, if I have the numbers and I can choose, I would prefer to go in with that Mega Aerodactyl, match the typings, and get more XL candy yield from paying for these raids, because I always want you guys to have the most bang for your buck here, and that's how you're gonna do it. So that moves us into spot 3. Rock Throw, Rock Slide, Mega Diancie. This Pokemon does not share a typing here, and it's a Rock and Fairy. We have a Lugia that is Flying and Psychic, so it doesn't match, but it's strong. But Tyranitar, if you're not gonna match the typing, you might as well use that Mega Tyranitar. It's budget, you have the XL candy, and it works. And then in spot number 4 and spot number 5, we have the, actually, Mega Bayonet is saying to beat out the Mega Gengar, which is probably because of the Psychic type and making it weak. But the Bayonet is going to be Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, and then the Gengar is going to be Lick and Shadow Ball. I would suggest sticking away from these Pokemon because it is a Psychic type. So for the Gengar, it's already getting taken out faster, and Mega Bayonet is actually beating it out, which is actually very surprising here. And the first non-Shadow, non-Mega, we are looking at Circuitry with Spark and Discharge, extremely strong electric Pokemon. And then we are going into Shadow Magnezone. Magnezone, reason why I think the Shadow is coming through in this one over the Shadow Raikou, which is in the next spot because of the Steel typing combination. This one's going to be Spark and Wild Charge. Then we have the Thundershock Wild Charge on the Shadow Raikou, followed by Mega Manectric, and then we have Snarl and Avalanche on Shadow Weavile. I would suggest sticking away from that Pokemon just because it's so incredibly glassy. Then we have Thundershock and Wild Charge on Shadow Electivire, followed by Snarl and Foul Play on Mega Houndoom. Then we have Dragon Tail and Dragon Ascent on the Mega Rayquaza, and that's simply because it's so incredibly strong as an attacker, not because of the typing matchup. Then we have Thundershock and Thunderbolt on the Shadow Zapdos, followed by the finally where we talked about the Mega Aerodactyl. Okay, so this one's actually decently far down on the list. Rock Throw, Rock Slide on this Pokemon, but it does match typings with the Flying type, so you are going to get a boost in XL Candy, and you can still be strong against it. So for me personally, this is a W. Then we're going to get Charge Beam and Fusion Bolt on the Zekrom, followed by Spark and Wild Charge on the Shadow version of the Luxray, and then we have the Mega Gyarados. I'm skipping that. It's way too far down on the list. And then we're into Smackdown and Brutal Swing on the Tyranitar, Bite and Brutal Swing on the Hydreigon, Psycho Cut, as well as Shadow Ball on the Mewtwo in the Shadow form. We have Mega Absol, which I'm skipping, as well as I did skip the Mega Ampharos. Then we have Shadow Claw and Shadow Force on the Giratina Origin form, extremely strong here. Volt Switch Thunderbolt on the Thundurus. Mega Gardevoir with Charge Beam and Shadow Ball. I did skip over talking about Mega Gardevoir. Even though they match typings, this Pokemon is too far down the list, and the Aerodactyl does better. Then we have the Snarl and the Shadow Ball on the Darkrai, followed by Hex and Shadow Ball on the Golden Go, and Powder Snow and Avalanche on the Shadow Mamoswine, which also makes the regular Mamoswine good as well. Okay, so we do have budget counters going on here as far as the Tyranitar. We do have the Hydreigon, which is good, and if you want to go into budget shadows, we also have the Tyranitar that is extremely strong, and we have budget Megas in here as well, and the optimized Mega, in my opinion, to get the most XL Candy coming out of these raids is going to be the Mega Aerodactyl. Okay, so let's talk about weather conditions real quick before we conclude this video because they are important. Okay, so for the weather conditions going after this Pokemon, obviously foggy weather is going to be the best for us. It's going to boost all of our dark types and ghost types up and make this Pokemon go down the fastest. Partly cloudy weather will be extremely important because of all of our rock types. If we do get rainy weather, we are going to go after with our electric types here. And snowy weather will influence our ice types, but as you guys did see, most of the strongest Pokemon against this Pokemon are not the ice type Pokemon. And finally, we have windy weather, which will boost the Lugia all the way to 25. It boosts pretty much all of the Lugia's attacks as well. Except for the Hydro Pump, which we should talk about. Hydro Pump gets boosted in rainy weather. Hydro Pump will be strong against all of the rock type Pokemon, so we are going to have to look out for that and be cautious. This Pokemon has extremely hard hitting moves, so we are also going to be wary for that. Any Hydro Pump Lugia will be extremely challenging to take down, so please make sure to go out there, use the counters that I recommended, use the Megas appropriate to your parties. If you're going in with smaller parties, use the Mega Tyranitar. If you're going with bigger parties, use the Mega Aerodactyl at Mega level 3 if you have it. If you don't, match the typing to Mega level 3. We can use any type of flying type or any type of psychic type Pokemon that you have Mega level 3 to optimize the XL paid XL candy that's coming out of these raids, right? It's not just XL candy, it's paid XL candy through premium battle passes, so I want to make sure you guys have that capitalized. So that's gonna do it. Good luck out there. Let me know how you guys do over the weekend. I appreciate you guys being here as always. To all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, and participation to X level. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.